Tackling global mental health challenges is essential for fostering peace. By addressing the psychological needs of individuals across the world, we lay the groundwork of societies rooted in the understanding, empathy, and cooperation. Prioritizing mental health on a global scale paves the way for a more peaceful and harmonious world. So the topic of panel discussion today is addressing global mental health challenges to foster peace. Our next guest is Mr. Ahmet SAGNA. He is physical education and sports teacher, international yoga instructor, and prana therapist. His words of wisdom are, each of us has an inner flame that will only be fanned by inner peace. Our next guest, Ms. Amrita Magdala, whose love for nature and for Gaia, the earth and humanity represents, has moved Amrita into the exploration of consciousness. A journey that ongoingly opened towards unrealized possibilities, normally unimaginable to our current state of realization. Creating unity is finding love as the thread that unites all traditions, all relations, all beings on the earth. As the expression of her soul, she helps now the arising awareness through the arts in the form of music and art. Founder of the Voice of Gaia, a movement raising consciousnus through music and art, inspiring love for Mother Earth and humanity. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Mr. Joseph Desideratus Ushimimana. He is a passionate social entrepreneur, yoga instructor, meditation instructor, karate instructor, and Tai Chi Qigong instructor. He holds a degree in sociology from the former National University of Rwanda. He's graduated from the 3-year Africa Yoga Project Academy program in Nairobi, Kenya, and is certified by the Battisti Institute of Power Yoga. He is a certified level 2nd breath body mind instructor. He has participated in a mindfulness meditation research workshops at Uganda Buddhist Center in Entebbe, 10 days Vipassana meditation, and has completed 3 months training in metta medicine, and also holds a black belt, 2nd Dan in Wado Ryu style karate, and a 2nd Dan in Goju Ryu karate style. He is a progressive student of Qigong in Immortal Arts Academy. These practices have been therapeutic tools for him and also an opportunity to be of service for the community. His teaching style is a blend of meditative postures, movements, and breath work. Those who practice under his instructions report to experience sound sleep, relief from chronic headache, a balance of strength and flexibility, emotional balance, and mental clarity. From 2013, Joseph teaches at different places including fitness centers, hotels, schools, and Heart and Claim the Mind. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Joseph Desideratus Ushimimana. I'm excited to introduce and welcome a very talented yoga ambassador and successful entrepreneur, Ms. Anilda Nocka, who has introduced the first certified Batiste Power Yoga practice and studio in the Balkans, specifically Albania, with 20 years of yoga experience. She is a self-driven yogi who is passionate about changing lives in the community. She lives in by volunteering her services and building her brand by sharing her passion for health, wellness, and the benefits of yoga. She owns Power Vinayasa Yoga Studio that offers a variety of different forms of yoga, including yin, restorative, prenatal, chair, sport yoga, personal training for injury recovery, and meditation. She is certified level 1 and 2 certification for Baron Batiste Power Yoga, Lakshmi Volkar Chair Yoga Therapy Training, Yoga Alliance 200 Hours Yoga Training Teacher Certified, Art of Assisting with Batiste Institute Certification, Cryotherapy and Red Light Infusion Programs, and many more. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Anilda Nocka. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobur, Convene your united consciousness. Dr. Tomar is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Most welcome, most welcome. We acknowledge your presence, Anilda ji from Albania. Most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Our friend Amrita ji from Sweden. Most welcome. And our friend Ahmet ji from Senegal. Most welcome.
Welcome, bonjour.
And audience watching us from different parts of the world, we are going to discuss on a very pertinent topic: mental health, global mental health challenges to foster peace. How to address global mental health challenges to foster peace. And I'm glad that we have people from different parts of the world, and that way it will help us to have more inclusive discussion. So let's start with Amrita ji. Amrita ji, you have lived your life in nature and in yoga practices also. What is your quick remarks over the condition of mental health in the world? Before I pass it on to you, I request all the guests to be as brief as possible so that we'll have more rounds of discussion. So whenever an elaboration is needed, we will request you to elaborate it further. But till then, we can be brief so that we'll have more discussions, more rounds of discussions. So my question to Amrita ji is, Amrita ji, what is your quick remark on the condition of mental health today in the world?
Thank you, Dr. Vikram, for addressing this very important issue in the world at the moment. It's not easy to go into this subject fast, but I will try my best to bring something, just an essence of it, because as in the global transition that we are in, right, this is going to become more and more a theme and something to approach. The easy answer to this is that it's going to be an ongoing answer, and we're going to have to come together with the different wisdom from all parts in the world. We're going to have to come back to nature and to ourselves, meaning nature, the world, yes, but nature within ourselves. Until we don't understand our own nature, we won't understand our own challenges. And if we don't understand the world, how it works, we will also create a challenge that won't help mental health. I would love to also bring a beautiful, from my own traditions or from this part of the world, right? A beautiful metaphor. It sits with, maybe Mr. Ahmet already named this, but it sits in metaphorically in the triple flame wisdom within our hearts. And this is bringing the clarity of mind or understanding consciousness, the clarity of emotions or maturity of emotions. So we're going to need that too to approach our emotional self. And to know how to apply this, it's the third one, which is where our power becomes. If we don't know how to apply this in the world, nothing, no understanding, no studying of it will work.
Thank you.
Hoping this is simple enough.
Yes. Thank you. Amrita ji mentioned about triple flame wisdom and importance of understanding ourselves. We'll go to Anilda ji from Albania. You have been practicing yoga. What is the condition of mental health you see around you? Is it changing? If it is changing, is it for good or for bad? What is the situation right now you see?
Well, it's such a pleasure to be here. And like Amrita said, it's not an easy thing to explain in short words. It's a complicated situation that gets worse and worse every day, unfortunately. especially mostly for the young generations, because they are expected to be a certain kind, to behave a certain way. And it's mostly not guided anymore, but what they feel in their heart or their family traditions. But it's mostly from the social medias, especially mostly in the developed countries, that every young kid has a cell phone or a tablet, and they all have social media. So, yes, we always need to go back to ourselves and to turn that mirror towards ourselves. But from personal experience of every one of us in this panel and around the world, turning the mirror towards us is the hardest process. So we all find ourselves in our societies and in our studios or in our everyday life with people that all have an answer for our problems, and sugarcoating it doesn't make it any better. We as yoga teachers sometimes are told that, oh, well, you live in your own bubble. Well, guess what? We don't. We live in the real world, and we touch the problems and the struggles of each and every person. And we want to be their guidance or their helper or their shining light. But sometimes even our own life get complicated. So we hit our bumps, we hit our, stops. So the sugar coating, I've noticed it doesn't work. I'm a little bit more like a very specific person. I don't like to sugar coated, and it's like taking the medicine. It's bitter, but you have to take it to get better. That doesn't mean that you don't go down to the level of the people you have in front of you. But I mean, it's a global problem, and we always talk about going back to our real selves. But that journey to our real selves, I think, it's a long journey, and we all need to cultivate it each and every day, each and every moment that we face our own, let's say, quote unquote, demons, our own fears, our own insecurities. And we're bombarded from so much information that our human mind is not designed to carry with us all day. Necessary information and unnecessary information. And we cannot be always prepared, because then our own brain is going to just kind of explode. So I don't know if that kind of explains
Thank you.
a little bit.
Makes sense. So, our friend Anilda ji mentioned about we need to turn mirror towards ourselves. We don't
Mhm.
live in bubbles. We live in real reality. There are lots of demons inside and lots of information bombarding from outside, and seems we are not prepared enough. Ahmed ji from Senegal, you are working with youth, you are exchanging, interacting with people. What do you think is the reason that the mental health on the planet is a serious concern? What is happening to the mental health? What is the problem?
Good morning. I'm happy to be here, and I will try just to speak English because here we speak French, and sometimes I cannot get really your question, but I will try what I understand.
That's perfect.
And okay, I know we have an interesting subject, and for me, mental health in the world is became bigger and bigger. Many people have this kind of problems, and for me, why this problems
Mhm.
becomes, it's about you have many factors. If, for example, lack of sleepy can give it, and also you will have physical inactivity. For example, if you don't do sport, you don't do yoga, everything, and also you have a kind of get exposure to psychoactive substance like such alcohol, cannabis, or drugs. It can make this kind of, mental health.
Getting it?
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, it's what I think, honestly.
Okay, you mentioned about lack of physical activity, psychoactive substance use also is contributing. Anything else that you are finding at your place in Senegal which is increasing this mental problems other than these two?
Yeah, because it's kind of factor, but here, for example, you can have, stress, anxious, and also if, for example, if you live, for example, if I take my town, Dakar, have many people, this town who have many people who have many activity, it will make you stress and it will give this kind of problems
Okay,
also.
thank you. Thank you very much. Uh, we understood the reasons of increasing stress and reducing mental well-being is narrated by Ahmed ji also. Amrita ji, after understanding what are the reasons why mental health is deteriorating on the planet, you mentioned about this triple flame wisdom. Would you like to help us understand what do you mean by that? And how does it help to deal with it?
Yeah, this is beautiful because the more I study more cultures, I feel one thing is important now is we are going to have to understand each other, walk each other home, walk us home. And the beauty of each tradition, like what is coming from the yogi tradition, they have a technology that it works. It's been working for many to understand these complexities inside us. What is in my mind? What am I in a state of confusion? Then we come to the wisdom in our schools here in the West. And then we can come to the ones in the Sufis, or the Kabbalists, or we can come to the Native American traditions. What I've understood is that in the end, it all comes to the same thing. And you will recognize this, Dr. Vikram, right? Because what is the triple flame, right? It's that wisdom. Wisdom can only come from clarity of mind. We need to dispel the confusion. What is making us confused, right? First, the first thing maybe is to approach the easy way. When someone is really confused or too young to understand, to mature this mind, the easy way might be to get it into the physical body, the exercises, the physicality of it. That's easy. We can all breathe and move. This physical body will get strong to receive the other bigger bodies, right? Then the understanding will start clearing. So this is very complex, as you know. First is to work with that consciousness in all the bodies, to strengthen this so that clarity of mind can be produced. That's the wisdom, what we understand by knowledge. And the other one is love. It's understanding our emotional selves. Where is this feeling coming from? Am I these feelings? Why are in this confusion? Am I these confused thoughts? Am I these confused emotions? Is there something else to me? Is this association? We don't understand. So we identify ourselves with the wrong things. So it's more about bringing clarity. It's a slow process. We need to know then how to apply it, how to apply all this knowledge coming from all these traditions. That's also the action, the will that comes from the roots. That's our power. This is the choice. I want to become better. I want to become healthy. Something's wrong with me. First, we need to understand I'm not in the great state of mind or great state of emotions. This first is taken, then we start applying it. Now these three come together continuously. It's a continuous weaving. These three flames are not separate. One becomes the other, and the other one becomes the other one, and the other.
Physical, first is physical, second is emotional, third is
Third is action.
action. Perfect.
Bringing
Thank
it
you.
to matter, knowing how to apply it. That's the will. Hmm?
Thank you. So, Amrita ji mentioned about physical well-being, emotional well-being, mental
Yeah.
well-being, and bringing this well-being into action.
Yeah.
Anilda ji, you
Clarity. Okay,
mentioned.
very, very easy, Dr. Brican. Just clarity of mind, sweetness of heart, into action.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you. So, you mentioned about social media, Anilda ji. You mentioned
Mhm.
about family relationships are also causing stress in that. So, yes, families are breaking. Their social media is bombarding with lots of information in such difficult times. As I was reading a research, now it has become 6 times more information exposure in than before. And
Mhm.
research was an old research. Now it must be 10 times more information exposure. What do you
Exactly.
what do you suggest? How should we be proceeding in safeguarding ourselves and going on the right direction?
Well, there is lots of studies that come out each and every day, and the one thing that at least I've noticed from our experience with our students, with our friends, with people that surround us, is that we treat our mental health as a separate issue from the rest of our life, from our body, from the inflammation inside the body, from the food we consume, from the information that we put inside this body. This body doesn't get fed only with food, but with information and everything else. Food, what kind of food? So if we really see the modern society today, we are all consuming foods that are not healthy. We are told one day one thing and the other day another thing. And then, let's face it, you go to the mental health offices or doctors, and the first thing they do, they don't ask you a full picture of what's going on. How are you feeding yourself? What are you doing? How long are you sleeping? How long are you doing certain activities? And the first thing they do, they prescribe you a medication that will make you feel better. Well, that's where most of the trouble starts. We're just noticing that doctors are reading each and every day easier into their prescription books and just writing these things. And I know it's like um, we talk about clarity of mind. How can you be clear of mind when your mind doesn't even know what's going on? When you are not told the real truth about what is going on with you. Uh, I am 51 years old, but when I was growing up, it was one meal cooked each and every day, fresh at the house. I lived in Albania. We didn't have Coca-Cola, or we didn't have all these packaged foods, and we were eating whatever that season was given us. So when we were talking about mental health, and I think most of the time we focus only on the problem. Oh my God, people are going crazy. Well, there is lots of factors, and I love to dig down and understand. I'm not a specialist. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not giving people advice. But the first thing I tell them, how many hours are you sleeping? How many hours are you going out and breathing fresh air? How many times are you taking a break in your 10, 12-hour office job to even walk around the table or take a walk in the corridor? So, I mean, talking about mental is like, it's a very touchy situations, but also people that in somehow or other have understood how deep this problem goes. I believe we all need to find the courage and be outspoken about the real problem. We're not yes, we talk about being in touch with nature. Well, when you have 10 bills that need to be paid at the end of the month, how do you explain to a parent, to somebody that is young, that, oh, well, leave everything and take a walk? They will probably look at you and say, are you freaking kidding? Are you crazy? Who's going to pay my bills? I mean, I have been that person, so I totally get it. So when we are trying to globalize the way we live, the way we think, the most important thing, as Amrita said, is to respect each other's individual traditions, respect their what they hold holy and sacred in their lives, because the tradition of yoga, it's so amazing. But to be honest, when I started in Albania and talk in Sanskrit, people look at me like, okay, she went crazy. Not that they have anything against that, but it's like, okay, what is she saying now? Is she going crazy? So it's like the teaching of yoga, it's so amazing. And the teaching of our grandparents and great grandparents, it's so amazing if we just found the time to sit down for a moment and just listen to them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lots of things that you covered in the in what you mentioned is about what kind of the mental health cannot be seen in isolation. What kind of food, when is prepared, how it is prepared, your sleep, what kind of air you are breathing, and many things that you mentioned will contribute in developing mental health. In Ahmed J, when you mentioned about various reasons which are deteriorating mental health, you as a practitioner, you as a guide for mental health and coach, what techniques, what methods are you teaching people through which we can regain this mental health?
For me, it's just what I think. To do more meditation. I mean, to to have more harmony and inner, and practice also yoga. And sometimes I can provide my student to eat healthy. And for me, the most important things is to to put my not to put, but maybe to update my student to be themselves. I mean, to be kind. I mean, to have this kind of harmony with themselves. And because for me, if you have this kind of harmony and you have this kind of peace, you can do many things. For me, if you have, for example, if you eat healthy and you have this kind of inner peace, you will do everything. And for me, it's the most important and I think with practicing yoga, you can have this kind of things. Because
Perfect, perfect.
yeah.
Thank you. So, Amritaji, when Ahmed mentioned this, that we should meditate, and Anilda mentioned, I have bills to be paid. So, the moment I sit and meditate, those bills pop up. When all those pending stuff pops up, even if I'm going to walk in nature, those things are popping up. How to deal with that?
We need to understand that we need to be ready to create sanity. Either we are there and we understand, wow, there's no choice anymore. This is creating more problem than it's helping. And we are willing to let go of what is unnecessary. And that means life is going to put great pressure on us. We need to understand we're going through a birth in humanity. And a birth many times is not easy. A birth requires you leave everything behind and trust in the process. And yes, it comes with a moment that you're thinking you're dying and you're thinking you're going insane. You think, no, it's not going to happen. Now, maturity of self, sanity, is gonna come only when you feel, okay, something is not working. I'm driving myself crazy. So if it feels, I don't know, I've gone through this. You need to understand, okay, do I keep pushing to pay the bills, or do I reduce my needs? In this, we're going to need community, because yes, if you're a mother and you have children, you need the support of the community. And if you know you're going insane, we need to ask for help. I don't know the circumstances specifically for everyone, because they are tailored to each one. And it requires a leap of faith in which you are stepping up for a greater clarity, and you understand, I need help and I cannot sustain the life of the living I'm doing, either if it's paying bills or other things. Many times we are driving ourselves crazy, and we put our time in things that are not healthy for ourselves. Watching movies, going out and drinking alcohol, consuming substances, talking with the neighbors and talking negatively. How am I producing that negative state of mind? It's a long process. It's not easy to talk about this in 5 minutes. What I'm saying is, everything I've said, I agree with everyone here, but it's deep. We cannot touch it in 5 minutes. It's deep. We all here know that if we've gone through it, it requires a lot of trust, faith, and knowing first something's wrong, I need help. I cannot
Trust in what? Trust in what?
to generate trust in ourselves and trust in life, we need to understand, we need help first, because we are not understanding. We are unable to generate trust in ourselves or trust in life on our own. That's when we come to the people who have come through it. Yes?
Anilda ji,
And then we need to be ready to let go.
Anilda ji, Amrita ji
Yeah.
mentioned that when we need help, we should ask for help. But people hesitate in asking for help. They shy, they don't open up. How to deal with it?
Well, most of people, just because of fear of being judged, normally they hide, and they hide in gossip, they hide in flashy clothes, getting more things that they really need just to show off that everything for them is good. To people that have found their peace, that have gone through their journey themselves, to the struggle, to finding themselves, to getting to a better place, this is like an open window. We can see through them. Most of us, when a student walks in a yoga studio or it comes in a meditation room, we can see ourselves in their eyes. So to my personal experience and what we work with every day is just being there for the people that knock at our door, for the people that call us on the phone or maybe write an email, and just be there and showing them that they're, whatever is going on with them, it's not going to get fixed with a pill or a walk in the park. It's going to be a walk in the park, but maybe also holding someone else's hand that it's guiding them through that. So I believe that the most important thing, and we see it into our yoga studios, into our communities, into our friends, we need to show up for each other. Society pushes us to get more things, to want more things, and it's not easy. You are tangled into this web of spending, and if you don't spend, you don't belong. So let's be honest about it. The modern times are, if you don't have the latest iPhone, you're not cool. Even through professionals and people of a certain, group of intellectuals. So that journey back home to find ourselves, it's not easy for everyone. And most people don't find that strength. And this is one of the biggest problems, because they go out for the easy solution, like I said before, and that easy solution becomes a bigger problem. And this is why we see suicide rates higher in a place, or early age deaths. And we see, wow, that person was so young, he was so healthy. But then when we learn about their real struggles, we were like, no, he was not so healthy. He was not so young mentally. We, in the calendar, we might be young, but what's going on into our mind, into our heart, into everything. So this is why the body and the mind, it's our temple. We say it, be careful what you eat and all that stuff, but we don't clean that temple, because sometimes we don't know how. Sometimes it's a hard work, and most people get scared about hard work. I don't care how much you have made in your life, how many degrees you have in your life. Sometimes the journey back home, it's difficult. So opening the communities, sometimes the people that have gone through the journey, we might be more open to help. But the person that is needing the help, it's not ready to open up because she's afraid or he's afraid to be judged. So we need to be more vocal. We need to be more not afraid to talk about the real issues, not just sugarcoating. This is my personal opinion. We should be like, bam, this is what's going on, and we are here for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So the last question from Ahmet ji. So Ahmet ji, you mentioned about a couple of tips that you use for bringing people up to the mental health. Would you like to add some tips? There are some people who are using psychoactive substances. How do you help them? How do you help them to get better mental health quickly?
In my teaching here, sometimes you will have this kind of student who have this kind of addict about this substance. It's not easy sometimes, but you can help them to, I mean, to have to know that what they use is not good for them. Their body. And for me, the most important if, for example, people, they know themselves, they have this harmony. Because for me, it's the the big problem. People didn't have harmony themselves. They are kind of they believe for everything, because you have social media, everything. But if, for example, you teach them about, to have this peace, how to eat, and tell them about, this substance, you can, can help them. You can have some practice with somewhere, sometime, because I also do pranic healing. I just use this kind of practice sometime to help them to be not addict about this substance. But for me, the most thing people can do, it's about to do yoga, because for me, yoga, it's kind of who will help people in this time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Amrita ji, Anilda ji, and Ahmed ji. So Amrita ji mentioned that the mental health is all about understanding your own nature and understanding and using this triple flame of wisdom. Triple flame of wisdom is: first is physical well-being, second is mental emotional well-being, and third is application of it, clarity of mind and purity at heart. Applying it is most important to bring the sunny days. And she said there is no choice. If your behavior, if whatever you're doing is not helping, we need to stop it right now. We need to act in a way which is helping us, not which is not helping us. If things are going tough, trust the process. Nature wants to teach us something. If bills are unpaid, try to pay them, but reduce your consumption, minimalistic living. She also said that unhealthy practices has to be stopped. Unhealthy means something which is not taking you towards your mental health. As for example, unnecessary gossip, creating wrong and negative thoughts in mind. And if you need help, reach out and let go of the past worries. Anilda ji mentioned that social media, family, relationships, lots of pressures are there in this generation, and there are many demons around. You can't live in a bubble saying, no, everything is okay. Let's face the brutes. And information bombardment, and we are not prepared. So the solution is turning mirror towards us. How? By first, do not separate mental health and physical health. The food you are eating, what you are eating, when it was cooked, how it is it synthetic, or what kind of food you are taking, how much sleep, what is the quality of sleep, quality of air, quantity of air you are breathing. All these things makes you mentally well also. Take nature walks. Ancient teachings are great help. And she said that there are many people who fear of being judged, that's why they do not share what they feel like, and that's why they spend in flowery clothes, and they spend in purchasing things they don't need, they're speaking something they don't want, and they feel if we won't spend, we won't belong. If we won't belong, then they feel sad. And she said these easy solutions creates a bigger problem. She said there is a difference between mental age and physical age, and that's why be there for them always. This is the solution. And she said, show love. Don't only love, let it be expressed. She said, this body is a temple, and we need to keep our temple clean. Ahmet ji beautifully said that physical inactivity, psychoactive substances, lots of relationship issues are creating stress to the people. Meditation, creating harmony in relationships, yoga, eating healthy, acts of kindness, he said, will make you feel better. Increase awareness about substance abuse. And the best thing is harmonize with self. If you are happy with self, you will never go out for such things. I'm sure, friends, that on the mental health, the discussion must have benefited you. People who are watching us from different parts of the world, I want to invite all three of you that on 14th, 15th, and 16th of February next year, 2025, in India, in Ujjain, we are celebrating Global Peace Festival. People from all continents of the world are coming. You are most welcome to join this program. I repeat, on 14th, 15th, and 16th February 2025, United Consciousness Global Peace Celebration will be there in Ujjain, in India. India is also observing Kumbh Mela at the same time. Visit India, visit Kumbh Mela, and be a part of that global festival in Ujjain. You can reach out to us for further details. Thank you very much. Most welcome. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks.